All right, we're in, ready to go.
All right. So Deidra, thanks so much for taking time out of your day today to join us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Yeah, so I'm here for those people watching. I'm here with my cycling buddy, Tommy, and this is day 11 of our second leg of our cross-country run. So we're 657 miles in, and you rode, what, 63 miles today?
Yeah, 63 miles today.
63 miles.
It was a fun ride.
Tommy had the better of it today.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a little rough. It was a little rough, but it was a great ride today. So we're sitting here in Owasso, Michigan, just outside of Flint. So, Deidra, we're going to tee up our question of today from Deidra Cunningham. And the question is, what are tools that you use to solve problems effectively? And we're going to let you noodle on that one for a while. And we'd like to ask you some questions first. And then we're going to come back to the question of the day when we get to the end of asking you some questions. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. Well, so first of all, Tommy, how do you know Deidra? There's a connection.
There is a connection. So I know Deidra through their EP Furnishings COS. So Deidra is one of the leadership members.
Okay.
So that's how we know.
All right. So you live down in the Dallas area?
Yes, I've been in Dallas for about 7 months now. I lived in Atlanta for 15 years, but I'm originally from Chicago. So I was very, very excited for this opportunity to participate. I grew up in Chicago as well. So the students at the school where you guys have been doing such an amazing job supporting, it means a lot to me to be able to give back.
Oh, cool. Cool. Well, that was going to be our first question. Maybe you could give us a little bit more detail on your background in terms of where you grew up and how you started in the wonderful world of business, and just some career highlights and what's important to you. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Fantastic. So my name is Deidra Cunningham. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. Some of the students might recognize it when I call it the Wild Hunted, means on the south side and past the 100th block of the city of Chicago. I grew up in the projects, a very humble background, family without a lot of resources. I had great opportunities to pursue my education. I was able to go away to Lake Forest Academy, which is a north suburb of the Chicago area. And so from there, things just started to unfold for me. It opened doors for me to do a lot of things in my life, in my career, the friends I've been exposed to, and the opportunities I've been afforded. I just can't say enough about the mentors and the people that have inspired me to help me grow and see more of the world than what is there on the south side of Chicago. So I just want to give all the students just a huge pat on the back, because all the hard work you're doing, it's going to pay off. The more opportunities you have to get outside of Chicago, so you can see that the world has so much more to offer than the West Side, I promise. And once you start to see what's out there, I promise you, you won't want to stay there forever. So,
It's a big,
there's so much. There's so much you can contribute when you know what the world has available to you.
Yeah. So what took you from Chicago to Atlanta?
Wow. So let's see. So I have a ton of family in Georgia. One of my most inspiring aunts, one of my great aunts, she lived in Atlanta when I was a kid. And every summer when we would drive down to Augusta, we would stop in Atlanta. And my aunt that was in Atlanta as I was growing up, she always inspired me to do more with my life. She introduced me to some of the who's who around Atlanta that were entrepreneurs and just really outgoing professionals with careers. And I hadn't been exposed to that much. And so being young and having that exposure when I went down for the summer on those long road trips, that really spoke volumes to me about what I wanted to do with my life. And so at a young age, I knew when I grow up, I'm moving to Atlanta And that's exactly what happened. When I finished college, I went to Duke University in North Carolina. But while I was away in high school, my grandparents had relocated back to Georgia, so it became even more inevitable because my grandparents were so inspirational in my childhood that I would end up closer to them as well. So I was able to fulfill a childhood dream by moving to Atlanta and staying close to my grandparents.
Yeah, wow. So from graduating Lake Forest Academy, won a scholarship to Duke University, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Room and board, I didn't have a scholarship for, but tuition, definitely it helped. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, good for you, going to Duke. Excellent. You ever watch any basketball games there? Probably not.
Of course. I'm a Blue Devil, Blue, so.
Okay, what was the most valuable lesson that you've learned in your life so far? Just think about the experiences that you've had. What's a lesson that you've learned that you can share with us?
I think the most, you mean from my career or just my education?
Yeah, just everything. Career, education, life in general, maybe from your aunt. What's a lesson that you've learned in life?
The most important lesson that I've learned throughout my life is just you never know who you're going to meet. Everybody that you meet, you can touch their lives or they can touch yours. So if there's any chance that you can be as outgoing, positive, and, lend a smile, because you never know what others are going through. Sometimes you could be going through things that can uplift someone else, but sometimes you're down, and if you share what you're going through and open up and let others be there for you, you never know who can give you some uplift or provide a resource or a suggestion to you. So that's the most important thing. You never know who you're going to meet. Just be pleasant, polite, and as helpful to others as you can.
Yeah. Awesome. So you're part of the leadership team. Give us a little leadership team lesson. What do you think is important when you think of being a leader?
Always ready and willing to learn. You can't stop growing. When you stop learning, when you stop having your mind open to the possibilities of what's different, thinking different, seeing things from a different perspective, there's every opportunity that you can learn something new. So the minute you stop learning, the minute you stop growing, the minute you stop listening to others, that's when, to me, you're not living anymore. So it's about continuing to stay open-minded and willing to grow.
Yeah. Tommy, do you have some questions for you?
So we'll ask who specifically has had the biggest impact on your life? A single person.
You're breaking up a little bit. Say it again, Tommy.
Who has been the most influential in your life?
I'm glad you asked that. It's been my grandpa. He passed away just this past April, end of March. But he was the one person from the time that I was like 5 years old that taught me the value of hard work. Doing what you say, saying what you do. Talk the talk, but walk the walk. The straight shooter. My grandpa believed in the value of hard work and your reputation. Everything you do and say is your reputation. So I miss my grandpa.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a good lesson for sure. Yeah. Cool.
So are you ready for the question of the day? Let me get your
I'm ready
insight.
for this very tough question of the day.
So usually we spin a wheel, but we're not going to do that tonight. We're just going to get right to the question. So this comes from Deidra Cunningham, and the question is, what are tools that you use to solve problems effectively?
I'm so glad Deidra asked that question. And I actually wrote down an acronym. It's called LISTEN. And so I'm going to explain to you what LISTEN means to me. When it comes to problem solving, I start with the L. Link up with the right people, the people that should be invested in solving the problem. creating a safe environment with those individuals, and the time you need to actually address the problem. So that's your L. Introspect, that's your I. Identify the issue, concerns, and symptoms that each of you contribute to the problem. If you identify and then agree on the root cause, you're ready to move on to S. S is about success options. If you can define the solution ideas that will create success, you should be able to ask this question. What does success look like? What does success feel like? And when do you know that you have solved the problem? If you can answer those questions, you've identified some awesome success options.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you have identified some options for success, you have to develop some tough questions. You have to ask yourself, ask your group. Are we afraid to ask what we are willing to do? Are we ready and required? Do we know what we're required to do for the greater good to solve this particular problem? How do we achieve the desired success option? What will I do to get the best outcome?
Mm-hmm.
So once you've asked those tough questions, you've come up with your ways of succeeding and meeting that particular solution you've identified. Now you can engage. So your E is about engaging. Actions speak louder than words. It's time to make it happen. Empower one another and execute a set of SMART goals. If you haven't heard of SMART goals before, they're specific, they're measurable, they're acceptable, they're realistic, and they are time bound. So engage with SMART goals. And your final step in problem solving is notify. When you alert everyone that you're on track or that you're off track, because everything isn't always uphill from here, you have to course correct. Sometimes it's necessary to course correct. And if you do that along the way before you hit your deadline, you can stay accountable and you're able to celebrate when it's all done. So following up, and when the time expires, you'll be able to celebrate you met your goal.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Deidra, I was taking copious notes while you were giving us this lesson. I absolutely love this. This is terrific.
Good, right?
Yeah, listen, great acronym, nice way to keep a discussion on track
Right.
and to get things done. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, that was really good.
terrific.
All
You have
right.
another question?
Yeah. So before we close out this this interview, I wanted to ask if you could just say what you're doing now. As you moved to Dallas, you now work for BT Furnishings. If you could just give us a little bit about what you're doing now and what you're working on.
So I'm a sales leader here at BT Furnishings. So I'm focused on growing the business, driving traffic to 4 of our stores here at BT Furnishings. We provide home furnishing solutions and furniture because we create homes that you love, and it's our pleasure to help you love where you live. So that's what my main career focus is right now, helping you love where you live. So if you're ever in the Dallas area, please come by and visit. I would love to meet you in person. And then on a personal note, I'm involved with feeding the homeless. I go down to the bridge. I'm building a relationship corporate with them, but I also have a passion for being involved in the community, and feeding the homeless is important to me. That's
awesome.
my personal.
Well, let me know the next time you go. I'll join you.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
We're going to have some of your teammates join us tonight, and they're going to be riding with us for the next couple of
That's
days.
right.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I have to share them on.
Yeah, we'll take some photos and send them to you secretly so that.
Okay, great. Make sure you share them.
We'll do that.
All right. Thanks again for taking
Yeah,
time.
that was awesome.
Thank to meet you, Rene, and good to talk to you, Tommy. Good luck, students. And have a good summer.
All right, take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.